Dennis,
LP Greer, how are you, sir?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm healing.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm healing. But other than that, I'm doing okay.
that's good. That's good to hear.
Did I catch you at an inopportune time?
Just about to start my show.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, you know what? I'll give you a call back tomorrow. I need some musical help from you.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, I'll give. What's a good time to call you tomorrow?
Anytime after noon.
Afternoon. Okay, good deal.
All right,
All right, thanks, Al.
no problem. Take care.
You too. Bye now.
And a pleasant good evening and welcome to Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. It's yours truly, your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer, officially checking in. If I sound a little squeaky tonight, I didn't have my nap earlier. Even though I didn't get out of the bed until noon. Shame on me, right? Right, okay. Anyway, hello to Holly Jennings. Thank you for being on my Facebook Live. Ms. Hill and Deron Williams. They are the first to be in the chat room on my Facebook Live. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys, all right? Coming up in our last hour, we do a thing we call foreplay. Four songs by one of your favorite artists or groups, male or female. That's in our last hour. And between those hours, we do a thing we call Who Did It Best? So you might hear a song and you say, wait a minute, didn't so and so do that song? And like, yeah, they may have done it first, but who did it best? And that comes up throughout the night, right here on Bedtime Stories. With your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer, we are broadcasting live not only on Facebook, we're also on, I believe it's Twitch and YouTube. So I'm just hoping that YouTube doesn't cut me off tonight, all right? And they usually do. Or Facebook, one of those. But anyway, we'll keep the music down low so that way I don't get caught tonight. Also, hello to Henry Cooper. Thank you for checking in as well. Good evening. This is Bedtime Stories. You're the Dramatics, and welcome back home on Bedtime Stories. All right, Henry Cooper. Good evening, sir. Holly Jennings, Sandelia Hill. Did I say that correctly? She says I never say her first name. Miss Hill. So we're all in our places with bright, shiny faces. I'm just happy to be here. Yeah. People always say, good to see you. I say, well, good to be seen, as opposed to being viewed. That is for sure. So I'm eating the last of my Chinese food. Only because I didn't want it to spoil. And I didn't want it to go to waste. So, so I had my son to get an extra large combination fried rice. I figured everybody in the house would eat it, him and his girlfriend. So that's what happened. Hmm. So This is the last of it. And he only got 2 egg rolls. So that's cool. I said it perfectly. Thank you. I saw all these restaurants, and the restaurants is like they were calling my name. I passed Checkers or Rallies, whichever, which was across the street from White Castle. I even passed the hoagie shop, so I don't want to hear my sister's mouth. So I'm eating combo fried rice with shrimp and chicken. I think it's some beef in there too. I'm not sure. Yeah. But I never thought that rice could fill you up, right? But the rice has, you know, the chicken and the shrimp in it. Now, some places they give you the jumbo shrimp. Like when I went to Ho Toy, which is on Stony Island, which used to be Kenny's for Ribs and Pizza, which is now in, where are they? They're near Paulina. They're like 100 and something in Paulina. So, but yep, the combo fried rice eats like a meal. So that's it. And with a couple of egg rolls, you get full. Trust me. Hey, Holly, thank you for being on my live. Usually I send out good morning and good night greetings to everyone. Well, mostly everybody. If you don't get it, then you're not on my mind. All right, get caught. How big is this place? So they have this new thing called Sono. Hmm. Okay. Alrighty then. And even if you can't sing, you can make a song. Like, okay. So if you have no singing ability whatsoever or are not a musician, you can make a song. How cool is that? I think I might try that. Maybe it can enhance the song that I already have. So, hmm. So I went to an optometrist once, and the optometrist told me that all my eyelashes would fall out before I was 40. I was like, okay. I am now 65 and I still have eyelashes. So he was wrong. Or maybe just jealous. Your eyelashes are going to fall out. Like, I don't care about eyelashes. It's my eyebrows that I care about. The Isley Brothers, and welcome into my dreams. Right here on Bedtime Stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. So, did you get a chance to watch? I'm laughing because, it's funny. The State of the Union address. They said it was one of the longest speeches ever given by any president. And others who watched it, they said it was just chock full of lies. He said, "This is the best economy we've had in a long time, out of all the sitting presidents." Lies, all lies. We were in better shape when Obama was the president for those 8 years. But oh well, let him continue his lies until somebody will believe him one of these days. Anyway, here are the Isley Brothers. And welcome into my heart, right here on Bedtime Stories. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Mm. It was a good half an hour or hour and a half worth of lies. I'm like, wow. My favorite part of the State of the Union was when Representative Al Green came up with his sign, "We are not apes." I was like, my man, we are not apes. We are not apes.
Y'all niggas must be crazy. Y'all must don't know I got a weight limit on me. Y'all, hey, please get, Lord have mercy, I kind of Charlie Horse. Get the dude out me. Y'all.
Talking loud and saying nothing. Exactly. Yep. Just blowing hot air. I'm like, he just kept talking. And every time he say something, they stand up for him like he was in church or something. Like he was really saying something. But yeah, they hurried up and got Senator Green up. They got him out fast. And some little white guy tried to snatch his sign. I thought that was funny. He snatched it back like, I wish you would. He snatched that sign back like, what you trying to do? Mm-mm. Senator Green held up that sign, boy, and Trump just turned his head. There was nothing he could do. Nothing. Nothing he could do. I love that song. The Isley Brothers, and don't hold back your love. Two in a row from them right here on Bedtime Stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. So, what were your thoughts of last night's speech? A lot of people have, different different opinions about it. They said it was one of the longest speeches ever given by any president. Ms. Hill said it was the longest list of lies ever told. Mike Sugar D. Richardson said, talking loud and saying nothing. Ms. Hill also said, I'm with Senator Green. We are not apes. And they were trying desperately to get that sign out of his hand, but they couldn't. I guess he said, they'll pry it from my cold, dead hands. Here's Prince for Monique and Nick. You cut that down. That's Warner Brothers. They'll get me, boy. He's back. Mm-mm. Sugar D, what's going on, bro? Mm-mm. I can never get the right version of this song. Guess I have to mark them, right? We are not apes. Hmm. Who that is? Oh, that's funny. Mm-mm. Mm. Kevin Brooks, good evening. Kimberly Patterson, good evening. Ooh, excuse me. Dude, that ought to hold them. So, Kev, I know I ask this every night, but how's the weather down in Atlanta? I want to know. And you too, Kim Patterson, how's the weather in Nashville? Nashville. Trying to fix my headphones. These are not the original ear cup replacements for these. But these are my favorite headphones. A pleasant 56 degrees. Jay Hive, what's going on, sir? I would ask Jay Hive how's the weather where he is, but we pretty much have the same weather. So yeah, yes sir. DJ Carl Dobbins, the legendary. I heard that, Prince. I hate you, baby, because I love you. That's deep. That is deep. I remember when that song came out. I was working at Radio Shack at the time, and I was in love with this girl. Ooh, man, I was in love with this girl. And that song would come on the radio, and I'd be like sitting in the back in the storeroom singing it. I loud as I could. And they'd be like, "Y'all got Prince locked up in the back," or some crazy ninja just screaming out that song. Yeah, it's "I Hate You" from Prince, right here on Bedtime Stories. Hello to DJ Carl Dobbins, Kevin Brooks, Kimberly Patterson, and Jay Hive. Thank you for coming. I'm sorry, I was reading what Carl Dobbins. Are you coming to the low end tomorrow? I suppose I would be. Yeah, I think I will be. Um, the celebration for his life will be Thursday and Friday at Rainbow Push on 50th and what is that street? Drexel. Yeah. So I'll probably pop my head in there, you know, come in there early just to make an appearance like I'm a celebrity or something. But anyway, Jay Hive said it's freezing over there, over here where he is, which is not far from where we are. He's in the Indiana. I'm in, of course, Illinois. So, but yeah, I don't think it gets any colder there than it does here. I'm just saying. Here's Confunction, straight from the heart on Bedtime Stories. He said, coming to the low end. Yeah, I guess I'll go. I might even come through the front door this time. Usually I go through the side door. But, sir, you can't come in this way. I've been coming in this way for over 30 years. Now I can't come in? Okay, cool. Tight security. I could imagine. I could imagine there's going to be tight security. But fortunately, I'm still connected to VON, so they can vouch for me being there. I heard all the presidents were invited, past and present. Do do you actually think that Donald Trump is coming to Chicago? I mean, really, really now. Yes, parking is going to be very challenging, extremely. But luckily, I'm still associated with, at least I think, with WVON. So I'm sure I'll be able to get in. I think. Would you say Chirac? I don't think so. Trump is. He said Tim Scott or Herschel Walker to represent him. Tim Scott, if Tim Scott comes, he's coming on his own. He's not coming to represent Trump. He done with Trump, boy. Ooh, boy. Miss Ward, hello. God bless you. Yeah, I was like, whoa. Ooh, boy. Shawnee Davis, what up? Everybody's coming out the woodworks tonight. I'm about to say coming out the closet, you know. Thank you, Shawnee. He's sending Tim Scott or Herschel Walker. Tim Scott got on TV. He said, you know, blasting the president. Well, he can do that now because, he didn't get a cabinet seat. Trump was like, yeah, thanks for campaigning for me. Appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, Tim Scott was on TV with a blue suit on and a red tie. He just knew with his chipmunk looking self. He just knew he had a cabinet seat on Trump's team. It's like, no, you don't. Bruh, sit down. Sit down somewhere. From right here in Chicago, that is Magnum Force and Share My Love right here on Bedtime Stories, which is actually the B side. The A side was called Are You Ready for the Weekend, which was a funky up tempo song. And of course, we flipped it over and played the B side, and well, it became the hit. Magnum Force, Share My Love, right here on Bedtime Stories. Once again, hello to Jay Hive, Henry Cooper, Ernest Leonard, Sandelia Hill, Sandra Parker, Tony Bosley, Kevin Brooks, Shawnee Davis. I cannot remember when Shawnee Davis has ever been on my live. And of course, Nedra Ward, thank you so much. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys. Now, I just have one question or one favor to ask. Make sure you share it. Will you share the page with everybody else? I really appreciate that. Thank you. Now, Kevin Brooks said, you know, because all the presidents were invited to Reverend Jesse Jackson's memorial service. He said Trump is sending Tim Scott or Herschel Walker to represent him. I think Tim Scott finally came to his senses. He stopped drinking the Kool-Aid, if you know what I'm saying. I guess he thought he was going to have a cabinet position with Trump. Not brother, not brother. Shani. Did I go? What, to the service? No, I'm going tomorrow. Either tomorrow or Friday or both. I don't know. Yep. Yep. I think I will go tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Thursday? Yeah. Nothing planned. Hmm. Are you going tomorrow or Friday or the one, what is that, March 6th, 7th? It's like they keep changing it. Nicki Minaj and Tim Scott should show up together at the service in South Carolina. No, no way. No, no way. Absolutely no freaking way. Mm-mm. That's for sure. Heaven sent. I just want to know why he waited so long. Like my mother always said, never, never question God. He does everything in his time. I said, I believe that. I really believe it. You know, he may not come when you want him, but he's always right on time. What do I think of Far East stuff and Trump? That he's a you know what starter. He's a shizzle starter. He's like he's like the kind of guy that hits your you know hits your hand, and who's the best, who's the baddest, that is. And then you don't see him no more. Like, hit my hand if you're the baddest, and then he's gone. Hmm. Ooh, pardon me. Another B-side. It's the B-side of More Love that is swept for you right here on Bedtime Stories, which doesn't appear on any of his greatest hits albums, meaning the Miracles, that is. Swept for You from Smokey Robinson, 1966, I believe. Yeah. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Shawnee Davis wants to know, what do I think about the Far East stuff in Trump? I think he's a shizzle starter. He's the kind of guy that, said, okay, the baddest person hit my hand, and then he's gone while everybody's fighting and everything else. He's making his exit. Kevin Brooks said Nicki Minaj and Tim Scott should show up together at the service in South Carolina. Wouldn't that be something? Poor Nicki Minaj. She got played big time. Anyway, it's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories on WOST Radio DB Chicago, WCHI Biggs Radio Chicago, WRLN Radio, a Rainiel Media Station, WBOE, the best of everything, owned by Reggie Miles, and W. And My Jam Radio, which is owned by Mike Breezy. That's his new name, y'all. The DJ formerly known as Mike Brown. Let's try this one. Once again, this is Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. Kevin Brooks said, I believe Aretha Franklin had the wardrobe change, both for her wake and funeral. I think Jesse's going to stay in the same suit. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he's going to stay in the same suit all day. Anyway, Shawnee Davis says, so the next president will continue the shenanigans. Scared to vote. No, I think these shenanigans will be over and they will end when he leaves office. Because I do believe he's going to be impeached. I believe that. Don't take my word for it, but I just believe that. And after that, of course, with the 39 counts of felonies and everything else, he may finally find his new home. And it won't be Mar-a-Lago. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed, but never to sleep. Mm-mm. So, they're taking bets on how long Jesse's funeral is going to be. It's at the House of Hope, which is nothing more than a gymnasium passed off as a church. I mean, it looks like a smaller version of the United Center. If you look at it, I'm like, this is a church? Good Lord. I've seen mega churches, but that's excuse my language, that's a big ass church. That is a lot of church. That's a church. That is not a church. The former home was a church. That was Salem Missionary Baptist Church. But House of Hope, Good Lord. That's a church and a half. That's a lot of church. He sure did, which I was kind of surprised that Steve Harvey showed up. But I guess, they had to show unity and all of them showed up. You know, um, Steve, DL, and Cedric. You know, I was because behind the scenes, Steve could not stand Bernie. This is a true story. You know, the show, the movie that we saw, which was the Kings of Comedy, was edited to put Bernie at the end, and they all admitted that Bernie was the strongest one. Well, two of them admitted it, and one of them was like, "Yeah, well, he all right." How long did Bernie's show last, as opposed to Steve Harvey's show? Bernie's show lasted longer than Steve Harvey's show. Now you can Google this and look it up and see whose show lasted the longest. But if you look it up and see whose show lasted longer, you'll see that Bernie Mac's show. Because towards the end, the kids were almost grown, weren't they? They said in Steve Harvey's show, they were still young adults. I'm just saying. West Side. Two in a row from the Shalites. That's how long I'll love you. Here on Bedtime Stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. I just thought I saw Michael Finney on TV. I guess I did on Channel 7. Anyway, shout out to Michael Finney, formerly of Leon's Ribs. His dad was Leon Finney Sr. Leon Finney Jr., of course, was the preacher that kind of kept it going for a while. Anyway, it's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Kevin Brooks said Bernie Mac had his funeral there. That was the House of Hope. And that was probably one of the largest funerals in Chicago history, next to Sam Cooke's. Sam Cooke's funeral was so long and so, pomp and circumstance that people flew in from all over the world just to see the great Sam Cooke. And they said it was the longest funeral ever at AR League. I believe it. I believe it. We'll see how big and how long Jesse Jackson's funeral will be. I mean, everybody and their mama gonna be there. The whole city is gonna come out to celebrate a giant. Like I said, he was a beacon of light not only to Chicago, but to the world. Rest in peace, Uncle Jesse. Here's the first of two in a row from Natalie Cole. And guess what? So, I have a question. So, what are they going to do on all these TV stations when Black History is over with? Then what? What do we do then? Question. Good question, right? What do we do after that? Because they're having all of these, special reports, honoring Black History Month. Okay. So this year, Black History Month is nope, it's the same. It's 28 days. We can't get a break, can we? Yep. So Sunday's the first. So that's it. 28 days. That's all we get. Now, my thing is, if you're born on leap year, when do you celebrate your birthday? If you're born on the 29th, excuse me, the 29th of February. And my thing is, when was the last time we had 29 days in February? It's always been 28 days. And of course, Black History Month has always been the shortest month of the year. So let me go to the Google. When was the last time February had? Okay, let me hit this first. When was the last time February had more than 28 days?
28 days most years, including in 2026, but it will have 29 once again in 2028 during the next leap year. The last leap year was in 2024.
So there you go. But we'll have 29 once again in 2028 during the next leap year. The last leap year was in 2024. So, hmm. So there you go. How often does February have more than 28 days? Every 4 years. Each leap year, the month of February has 29 days instead of 28. Adding one extra day in the calendar every 4 years compensates for the fact that a period of 365 days is shorter than a tropical year by almost 6 hours. Okay. What happens if you're born on February 29th? In non leap years, that day is March 1st. So for someone born on February 29th, the first day they can legally drive, vote, join the army, buy alcohol, or start collecting Social Security is presumably March 1st in a non leap year. Okay. So there you go. And there you have it. I'm Casey Kasem. I used to love Casey. Casey was just so cool. And there you have it, the top 10 hits of this week on Casey's Top 40. I'm Casey Kasem. Keep keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars. I'm the voice of I'm the voice of Shaggy on Scooby Doo. Somebody put on, I think it was Snapchat or something. They said that Scooby was Shaggy's dead twin brother, and that Shaggy was the only one that could see Scooby. I said, no, everybody else talked to Scooby. Everybody else saw Scooby. So what are you trying to say? That Shaggy was just high most of the time and he was hallucinating that he had a talking dog? Really? Now you're going to tell me there's no Santa Claus. But anyway, for years, we watched Scooby Doo and everybody talked to Scooby. And Scooby talked back. Scooby Doo. I'm sorry, that was Magic Johnson. But anyway, so my thing is, whoever came up with that had to have been high, saying that Scooby was actually a spirit and he really didn't have a talking dog. And most of the time they were in the Mystery Machine. And nobody else talked to Scooby but Shaggy. Not Velma, not Fred, not the little cute girl who was rich. Now, I never knew that. She was rich. So I guess the mystery machine was hers. She paid for it. What about Fred? What did he do for a living? What did they all do for a living? And the answer is they chased after spirits and bad guys. That was it. So there you have it, the breakdown of Scooby Doo. Scooby's not a real dog, he's your spirit. Because dogs don't talk. Yeah. And whoever put this on Snapchat or whatever, he said nobody else could hear Scooby but Shaggy. Because Shaggy was always, you know, he was always high. So he was the only one that could hear Shaggy. I'm like, okay, whatever. I wanna believe that, but no. Two in a row from Natalie Cole, Our Love, right here on Bedtime Stories. With your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. I was looking at Snapchat, I think it was, and somebody posted a story about Scooby Doo. They said Scooby Doo wasn't a real dog and nobody else talked to Scooby. I'm like, not Fred, not Velma. The only person that could see Scooby Doo was Shaggy, and most of the time he was high. I'm like, you want me to believe that nobody else talked to Shaggy? I mean, talked to Scooby. I'm like, no, 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 no. They always talk to Scooby, and Scooby talked back. I'm like, really? Where did y'all get that from? They said Scooby Doo was a spirit. He was Shaggy's twin brother who had passed. So his spirit lived in the dog that nobody else could see but Shaggy. This guy must have been high when he posted that. He had to have been. I'm like, really? So for years, we thought that Scooby was talking and we were talking back to him, right? Maybe I was high. I don't know. Here's Patrice Rushen. I'm like, really? Scooby wasn't real, and all these years we were talking to Scooby. He was talking back, but he wasn't real. Like, yeah, okay. So I'm supposed to believe that. Nah. Mm-mm. Okay. I drank the Kool-Aid. Phyllis Rogers, good evening. Thank you as always for being on my live. And I truly appreciate you inviting me to your church on Sunday. At least I thought that was your church. I thought you went to the other church, but that's okay. You know, anytime I can get out of my church to go to somebody else's church, it's cool. I hated to leave in the middle of my cousin's sermon, but he was towards the end, so so I kind of did this and got out. Yeah. But once again, thank you for being on my live. And I'm going to tell you something that I never thought I would say out loud, that I've said to Bishop Shirley Coleman about her daughter. Your daughter is beautiful. But then again, you know that because you made her. Okay, so she's beautiful. Yeah. She gave me the biggest hug on Sunday. I was like, whoa, okay. But then again, you raised her that way. So, naturally, she hugged me because she hadn't seen me in a while. First time I saw her, we were at the golf club when we did that party for the lady who turned. I think it was she turned 100 or 99 or whatever. That was the first time I had seen her. It's like, okay, all right, Phyllis, okay. But it's like every time I'm around uh, Stephanie and Shirley Coleman, it's like, I want to tell the bishop so badly. I'm like, I got a crush on your daughter, but I know it will not go any further than that. She'll be like, you got to take that up with her. She's a grown woman. Like, okay. So, but a man can dream. A man can dream. But both of you all have beautiful daughters. I mean, just beautiful. So, and they're both my type. But enough of that. But I just like being around family because I lost my dad in 2011, lost my mom in 2020. So I like being around family. So to see you all, your son, your husband, your daughter, and seeing you all together, it does me some good. Because like I said, I don't have my parents around anymore. And to say that I miss my parents is an understatement. My mom was my best friend. She was my first roadie. She was carrying crates of records. She was carrying whatever it was that she needed to carry when I started DJing. She would carry speakers. She would carry just some of everything. And I was just so, I was there when she took her last breath. And when I heard Jesse Jr. say he was there at his father's side when he took his last breath, I just hung my head like, bruh, I understand. Just like Jesse Sr. was to Jesse Jr., my mother was my hero. My dad was cool too, but I was closer to my mom. I was a mama's boy. And to say I miss my mother is an understatement. You know, every day I look in the mirror, I either see my dad or my mom. My mom's nose, my dad's face, my mom's eyes, you know, but it's a constant reminder of them in me. So, two in a row from Patrice Russian. That is Settled for My Love right here on Bedtime Stories. Hello to Phyllis Rogers. Thank you for being on my live. And thank you once again for inviting me to your church on Sunday for their Black History program. And like I said off the air, it's always nice to see families together. You had your son, your husband, and your lovely daughter with you. It's always, I had to sneak that in, your lovely daughter. It's always good to see you all together because I lost my dad back in, I think it was 2011 when I got married the first time. And then my mom again in 2020. And to say I miss them is a understatement. You know, my mom was my hero. Um, she was my road manager. She was everything. She carried records. She carried um, speakers. Anything that I was like, Mom, you don't have to pick that up. That's okay. We'll get it in and out faster. And against my dad's will, she would take the family car and load it up with equipment. So, and the car would be dragging all the way down the street, pipes catching on fire and everything. No, it wasn't that bad. Now, we didn't have a raggedy car. We had I think it was a Chrysler, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Dad liked his Chryslers and eventually got a Cadillac. Yeah, it was an upgrade. Four plays coming up in 20 minutes, but right now here's two in a row from the Commodores. This is Say Yeah on Bedtime Stories. Thank you for being on my live, Phyllis. Mm-mm.
No tax on tips. No tax on overtime. No sex on Monday. No food on Tuesday. Cutting taxes on Social Security. No more men in women's sports. That's right, dude. And no more women and men's underpants. The great healthcare plan. We're not sick of winning yet, Mr. President. That's right. We're sick with measles. America, America, America is back. I agree with these pendejos. Donald Trump is the best. Do not deport me. I can tell you where Jimmy lives. It's not too far from here. You little rat. I see you got over that disease, huh? Yeah. What was the name of that disease you had? Measles. What do they call measles in Spanish? Sarampion. Oh, really? Yes. Say it again? Sarampion. Sarampion. Yes, sarampion. Yes. It's scarier that way. It is. A lot of people told me that they refused to watch the speech last night. I guess they figured they knew what he was going to say, and they weren't wrong. He said pretty much everything we expected him to. But it's important to know what's going on. That's what I think anyway. So for those who didn't or couldn't spend an hour and 47 minutes watching Harry, not Truman, go off on tangents, we whittled it down. We boiled everything to a 60-second, easily digestible State of the Union for you. Everything was stolen and rigged. Tariffs, murders, tariffs, fraud, corruption, so much richer. Tariffs, Somali pirates, plunderers. The Biden administration, Biden, Joe Biden, baby, illegal aliens, murder rates, fentanyl, Uncle Enrique. Please, Mr. President, we're winning too much. Boy, oh boy, we're just always losing. The one where you put your stick in the back and it hit the deck of your stick and bounce off. No money. Selling and selling and selling. We're making a lot of money. Millions and millions. Much more money than people understand. Nobody's getting paid. How much money is that? It's a lot of money. How do you make all that money? Dead country. Butter, chicken, food, automobiles, hotels, beef. Biden, tariffs. Nobody wants to go fishing anymore. These people are crazy. They just saved you an hour and 46 minutes of your life. And you didn't miss anything at all. It was all in there. Meanwhile, the Democrats took a page from Kid Rock and had a number of what they called alternative events, including an event called the People's State of the Union.
Hey, I'm Alice. My artist's name is Melting Virgo. They cannot imprison us all. 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 The one in
I love to see a fierce Democratic response. What was her name? Melting something? Thank you. Maybe we let Bad Bunny handle the songs and us on here. 2 more minutes of that, I'd be wearing a MAGA hat. Of course, the elephant in the room last night was the Trump-Epstein files, which unsurprisingly went unmentioned by the hippopotamus in the room. Hours before Trump took the podium, there was a bombshell report from NPR that said the Justice Department illegally withheld 53 pages of notes and memos from FBI interviews with a woman who accused Donald Trump of sexually abusing her when she was a young teenager.
I know, I'm shocked this year. I thought he got rid of NPR. The woman said she was 13 when she met Trump. The FBI interviewed her 4 times in 2019. The details of those interviews are, for reasons that still haven't been explained, unavailable. The ranking Democrat on the House Oversight Committee saw them. He said oversight Democrats can confirm that DOJ appears to have illegally withheld FBI interviews with the survivor who accused President Trump of heinous crimes. Hey, Pam Bondi, cancel your blowout. We've got heinous crimes to investigate here. Why are they being allowed to hide this stuff? They're supposed to release the files. What a bunch of hypocrites these be. I'm sure we know, if these interviews were on Hunter Biden's laptop, we know every word of them. So the New York Times had a follow-up on this story today. Trump may have another messy cover-up on his hands, and I'm not talking about the messy cover-up that is literally on his hands. I'm talking about something much worse than that, although I do want to clarify, we don't know if the president took part in or even knew about any of the crimes his best friend, the world's most notorious pedophile, committed. But I should also say the reason we don't know is because the people who work for the president blacked out his name a bunch of times and made interviews disappear. Seems to me the best thing for President Trump, who I'm sure did nothing wrong, is to order them to unredact his name and release all of the Trump-Epstein files. So, unbelievably innocent here. FBI Director Cash Patel vowed that he will find those 53 missing pages as long as they happen to be in the shower of the U.S. men's gold medal winning hockey team. Cash Patel's having a banner week. He flew to Italy on the FBI jet to chug beers with Team USA, and that might just be the beginning of the story. Senator Dick Durbin says he has a report from a whistleblower at the FBI and said Patel's excessive use of the private plane for personal travel has delayed and or negatively affected major criminal investigations. The whistleblower also said the tone was set early during Director Patel's tenure when he said in a meeting with the field offices last year, if you have golf, hockey, fishing, or hunting and beautiful sights, you're going to see a lot of me. That's right. If there are beautiful sights to see, these FBIs are going to be all over it. Cash Patel, as punishment, he should be forced to fly Spirit Airlines from now on. Spirit Airlines yesterday announced they are no longer bankrupt. Apparently, at the last minute, somebody stepped in with $800, bought the whole company. The airline struck a deal with creditors that would allow them to emerge from bankruptcy over the next few months. The only thing scarier than flying Spirit Airlines is flying Spirit Airlines right after they almost went bankrupt. The article I read said Spirit warned investors. They said there was substantial doubt that they could stay in business, which is weird that they even have investors. Who goes on the plane and says, I should buy stock in this? It's like buying stock in Spirit Airlines. It feels like owning a painting of a Quiznos. Like, how much could it ever possibly be worth? This is the second time Spirit filed for bankruptcy, and if they file one more time, they could be the next Republican president of the United States.
Whew, good God.
Transportation news. Waymo, you know the cars you see at every stoplight in LA? Waymo is adding 4 new cities. They're adding Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, and Orlando, which is going to be good. Driverless cars in Florida, that is going to blow the meth right out of their heads. That's going to be. The chief safety officer for Waymo said that the company's goal is to make autonomous transportation accessible to people who are unable to drive themselves, which is pretty much everyone in Florida. They're going to have to teach those Waymos to drunk drive themselves. Florida's a lot of fun, and from time to time we like to check in what's going on in the Sunshine State. We're about to witness is the story of an arrest that is so Florida. It almost seems like it was created by AI, but it wasn't, I promise. This is from real life and in another edition of This Week in Florida.
The couple that lives in this house told me a stranger knocked on their door asking to stay for a few days. They told him, go bother someone else. Instead of leaving, Zabricki made his way inside their lanai. They called 911, and moments later, they heard a splash. The stranger fell through their pool cover into the pool, then climbed out of the pool and knocked on the door. This time asking for French fries and a towel.
Thank God. You don't want to be seeing them peckers there in your backyard.
flip. Hey, we got a fun show tonight. Olympic snowboarder Chloe Kim is.
Mm-mm. I do. Mhm. The Commodores and Sweet Love here on Bedtime Stories. The show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep. The greatest love songs of all time. Coming up in about 8 minutes, it'll be time for foreplay. I heard an interview that Joe Jackson did once, and he was talking about his boys, the brothers, that is, his sons, not the boys, not those things down there that made the boys. But anyway, he was saying that Jermaine was a good singer as well as Michael, but Jermaine lacked the charisma that Michael had. Michael had an old soul, and he got that from watching, James Brown and Jackie Wilson. That's where he got his. And Jermaine was a decent bass player, a decent bass player, but he was a much better singer. Not better than Michael, but he was a better singer than he was a bass player. And this is one of my favorite songs by Jermaine Jackson. It's called My Touch of Madness here on Bedtime Stories. Today's the 25th. Two in a row from Jermaine Jackson here on Bedtime Stories for WOSD Radio DB Chicago, WCHI Biggs Radio Chicago, WRLN Radio, a radio media station, WBOE, the best of everything, owned by the Professor Reggie Miles, and of course, My Jam Radio, owned by Mike Breezy. Foreplay is next.
Hosted by Donald Biggs and the team from Biggs Radio Chicago at the VFW Post 360, 1307 East Jefferson Boulevard in Mishawaka, Indiana. Sponsored by Brandon Delk, U.S. Public Adjusters, Biggs Radio Chicago, WOSDRadio.com, Daryl Craig Productions, and the Salvation Army.
Hey, they put my name in there. WOSD Radio. It is time for foreplay. There are no actual artists' birthdays today, but there is one. He was known as the Black Godfather of music. His name was Clarence Avant, for those of you who don't know about him. And here's a fine time to talk about him because it is Black History Month. He was born February 25th, 1931 in Climax, North Carolina. He is an American music executive, entrepreneur, and film producer who also went by the name The Black Godfather. When he began in music in the 1950s, he was a manager at Teddy P's Lounge in Newark, New Jersey, owned by promoter Teddy Powell. He managed jazz, rock, and R&B singers such as Little Willie John, Kim Weston, and Tom Wilson. He also owned a couple of record companies. One of them was Sussex Records. Sussex. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Anyway, He also owned Taboo Records. And he also kind of sort of discovered this group that we're going to feature in Foreplay tonight. Although he didn't discover them, they were actually discovered by uh, another record exec, but they didn't like them. So he heard them. He said, "Okay, we're gonna put you in the studio." First, they were put in the studio with Leon Silvers of the Silvers family, and of course Solar Records. But they really hit their stride when they hooked up with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. And then the hits started coming after their first hit, Take Your Time, Do It Right. So now you know who we're talking about. The Sounds of Success, or the SOS Band, tonight in Foreplay on Bedtime Stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. No one's gonna love you the way I do. Mm-mm. Stratton. Mm. Hamilton. Clarence Avant. Whoa. Let's knock my cup over.
It won't be long now, Mr. Trump. It's the best seat in the House. It won't be long now, Mr. Trump. It's the best seat in the House. It won't be long now, Mr.
To you by the benefits they receive, but he also knew the dark impacts of that law. When you receive
I've been up all day.
you are instantly wearing a collar.
Now, file your own taxes for...
Oh, let me start there.
Hey, sir, did you have the apple pie?
I did.
I got a pie you could fill.
Wait, what?
What?
Huh?
Here's your meal, sir.
Thank you.
Whoa. I thought we had the meats.
Huh?
Huh? We have cheese sticks with no cheese?
Yep, that's me.
I'm trying to your cheese stick.
Wait, what?
What?
Huh? What are you talking about?
What? There, we have pink drinks.
Yep, that's me.
Here you go.
Thank you. This is really pink.
You know what else is pink?
What?
What'd you say?
What?
Never mind. Hey, sir, did you order the drill?
I did.
I got something you can drill.
Wait, what?
What?
Huh?
Huh?
What?
Hey, sir, did you order a piece of wood?
I did.
Trying to see your wood.
Wait, what?
What?
It's your nighttime girlfriend, Kim Patterson. I am locked into bedtime stories with my favorite guy, Dr. Al Greer, on WOSD Radio and WC Topics Radio Chicago. From 9 p.m. until midnight, playing nothing but the classic love songs when he push you to bed and never to sleep. Dr. Greer, give us a move.
What?
Hey, sir, did you have the apple pie?
I did.
I got a pie you could fill.
Wait.
I know you all want to see my body, so I'm feeling generous today. I'll make sure you get a real show. If you're bold enough to look, just tap the plus sign under my profile pic. I know you all want to see my body, so I'm...
Hi, sir. Can I help you fill it up?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Actually, do you want...
I'll be back.
Foreplay with Al Greer on Bedtime Stories.
I don't know who need to hear this.
At what time of the day do you start becoming a smartass? At what time of the day do you start becoming a smartass? At what time of the day do you start becoming a smartass?
Well, Facebook didn't cut me off tonight. Nope, sure didn't. How about that?
Hi, sir. Can I help you fill it up?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Actually, do you want to fill me up?
What?
Huh?
Huh?
Huh? Hi, sir. Did you get the 2-pack of Cinnabon Delights and a bean burrito?
Yes.
Here you go. And can I see your 2-pack of Cinnaballs in your burrito?
What?
Huh? Huh? That's time for a Diet Coke.
Yep, thank you.
My pleasure.
There's fitness, right?
Why would they be spitting that?
Because I asked for spit in my Diet Coke. Good. Thank you.
That was my pleasure. Hello, curbside for a milkshake with extra cream.
Yep, thank you.
How about after you make me cream?
What?
Yeah. Hi, sir. Can I help you fill it up?
Yes, please.
Mm-mm. Whoa! 12 listeners. Woo, look out. Good God. Help me. Why, yes, I am, Pat Westbrook. Absolutely. What's going on, Pat Westbrook? Wrapping up foreplay on the SOS Band. The original lineup featured Mary Davis, Jason Bryant, Billy Ellis, Willie Sonny Killebrew, Bruno Spite, John Simpson, and James Earl Jones III on drums. Their signature sound, of course, began when producers Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis in the early 80s started leading them to a string of hits. Just be good to me. Tell me if you still care. The finest. Even when you're asleep. Sands of time. Yeah, man. All of those songs written by Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, with the exception of the first few. But great group. And they had a good run, too. They had a great run. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. I had a great run, too, didn't I? Yeah. It was the first of two in a row from Prince Rogers Nelson. This is the one on Bedtime Stories. I'm not the one. Oh no, not me. Wait a minute. Raja sold us out. It's interesting because they'll do the opposing opponent do their commercial right after the other one. I'm like, interesting. Inquiring minds want to know. Oh, that's a little better.
This is Kimberly, one of Al's gals, and you're listening to Bedtime Stories with Al Greer.
You all still there? Everybody went to sleep on me. Ernest Leonard, LaDonna Ray. Hello. Tune row from Prince, that is Adore. Right here on Bedtime Stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. You got like 15 minutes left. You know what they always say, time flies when you're having fun. And I'm definitely having a ball tonight. I feel much better tonight than I have in a while. At least since before Valentine's Day. I'm feeling really good tonight. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. We didn't do who did it best tonight. So I guess now's a good time since we just did Prince. Stand by. Okay, who did it best? Prince or the original by the Delphonics? La 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 means I love you. Prince's version came from the album Emancipation, which was a 3 CD set that came out on not Warner Brothers, but on his own label, NPG Records, which was distributed, I think, by Arista, if I'm not mistaken, or Bellmark, one of those. But anyway, which one do you think is the better version? It's kind of hard there. Anyway. Here's choice 4. When you're young and in love, it's a beautiful thing. When you get old, it's a headache. Take it from me. Here's choice 4 on bedtime stories.
If you ever get tired of me, there's the door.
Can my girl best friend come over? She's
with your bad self. That's it for me. Thank you so much for staying up. As always, to everybody who hit me up on Facebook, Jay Hive, Henry Cooper, Ernest Leonard, Javier Dorilla, Sundalia Hill, Sandra Parker, Tony Bosley, LaDonna Ray from WVON, Kevin Brooks, Shawnee Davis, Fahim Manure, and Nedra Ward. You too, Pat Westbrook, Kevin Brooks, and Phyllis Rogers. Till next time, blue skies, green lights, and peace. See you tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon at Operation Push at 50th and Drexel. And good night, Monique. And that's it, guys. That's it. That's all. Thank you. Thank you.